Today's episode's a little different. It's not tactical, there's no checklist, there's no spreadsheet. Instead, I want to talk to you about something that sits underneath every financial decision that you are making in your firm right now, your future. And more importantly, who is actually responsible for it?
Welcome to your Profitable Law Firm podcast. I'm Kelley Brubaker, your dedicated host, passionate about empowering law firm owners. Let's dive into the hidden strategies that lead to overflowing profits, scaled growth, and thriving lives. And this is where overwhelm transforms into confidence, enabling you to create and enjoy your dream firm and your dream life.
So, I recently watched a YouTube video that really shook me. And it was one of those moments where you pause the video, you lean back in your chair, and you realize that this is not some abstract idea anymore. So here's the deal. I love AI and I talk about it often on the show, but the people who build AI are openly saying that within the next 10 years, up to 85% of what people do in their jobs today could be eliminated entirely. Gone. Not changed, not improved, gone. And I'm not sharing this to scare you. I'm sharing it because pretending that is not relevant to law firms is far more dangerous than talking about it. And don't get me wrong, I'm Gen X. So I remember when email was introduced into the office and everybody panicked. Oh no, email is going to be the death of the postal system. And yet I get more junk mail now than I ever have. Okay, but here's the deal. The law firm owners that I work with are not failing. And that's actually the problem. They're surviving. Payroll's getting made. Clients keep calling. Revenue is still coming in, but nothing is on fire enough to force a change. So urgency disappears. A couple months ago, I worked with a firm doing just over $1 million a year. And on paper, things looked fine. No debt, decent cash balance, consistent revenue. But the owner had not taken a distribution in 4 months. And when I asked why, the answer was, I just don't want to rock the boat. That phrase right there is the silent killer of long-term viability. Nothing was technically wrong, but nothing was getting better either. And another firm that I had worked with a couple of years ago would say to me every quarter the same thing. Once revenue hits 1 million, then I'll slow down and fix the systems. Then it was once I hire one more associate. And then once this next big case settles. 3 years passed. Revenue grew, but you know what? So did the stress, and profit sadly did not. When we finally unpacked all of it, the issue was not knowledge. The owner understood exactly what needed to change. The issue was decision avoidance. Waiting felt safer than committing. Entrepreneurs think differently because they assume nothing is guaranteed. Here's what it comes down to. So often, I talk to law firm owners who don't see themselves as a business owner. They see themselves as an attorney who just happens to own the firm that they work at. What I'd like to see is the acknowledgement that as a law firm owner, you are a business owner. You are an entrepreneur, because entrepreneur mindset is a different way to think. Because as an entrepreneur, you assume nothing's guaranteed. As an entrepreneur, you're asking, if this stops working tomorrow, what's my next move? Law firm owners often do not think that way because the profession historically has rewarded endurance. And believe me, I get it. As a CPA, this is all familiar to me as well. Long hours, high effort, delayed gratification. But guess what? That model is breaking, not someday, but now. So this is where I want to challenge something that I hear constantly. I don't have the time. I don't have the money. I get it. I work with law firms across many different revenue levels, $300,000 firms all the way up to multi-million. And they all say the exact same thing. And what they really mean to say is that I haven't decided yet. But here's the thing. Decision creates momentum. Momentum creates clarity. And clarity creates confidence. It's not the other way around. One firm I worked with was terrified to change their billing process. Invoicing was delayed 30 to 45 days after work was completed. Collections were inconsistent. And the thing was, they knew it was a problem. But the law firm owner kept saying to me, I don't want to upset clients. And I get it. Eventually, cash flow got so tight that the decision was forced. We fixed the billing in under 60 days. And you know what? No clients left. Cash flow stabilized, and the law firm owner's stress dropped immediately. The problem was never the system. The problem was the fear of making a decision. So here's something that I want to talk about that's uncomfortable, but it matters. Most financial problems in a law firm are emotional problems, but they're wearing some type of a number facade. There's a fear of being judged, fear of getting it wrong, fear of being exposed as to not knowing enough. And that is why law firm owners avoid looking closely at their P&L. That is why trust accounting gets ignored until something breaks. And that is why billable rates stay too low for too long. And it's not because math is hard. It is because facing it requires emotional regulation. Now, back to the AI. AI is not coming for lawyers because they're lawyers. AI is coming for inefficiency, low leverage work, and firms that rely on brute force instead of a strategy. If your firm depends entirely on you working more hours to make more money, that's a fragile model. If your firm does not know its margins, capacity, or profitability by practice area, that's exposure. That is why I say the future is not the market's responsibility, it's yours. As I drafted this episode, I wrote it from the viewpoint as a law firm owner because my audience is law firm owners, but I'm an accounting firm owner. And these are all things that I have struggled with personally within my accounting firm. Now, I want to be able to share with you what I do. And I don't want to say that I have overcome this. I actively work on this continuously. So now here are the things that I do for myself to be able to get past this. So first is decide who I need to become. So instead of asking, what should I do next? I ask myself, who does my firm require me to be? Because here's the truth. A technician cannot run a scalable firm. A people pleaser cannot lead profitably. And a conflict avoider cannot build durable systems. So step 2, I want to set goals based on desire, not comfort. So most law firm goals are capped by what feels achievable. And that keeps the entire firm small. When a firm sets a goal based on what they actually want, everything changes. Staffing, pricing, systems, expectations. Step 3, and this is one that probably is my biggest fear, probably because I have a fear of falling, but learning in motion. You know that there's a saying and it's you jump off a cliff and you build the parachute on the way down. And that scares me. Waiting to feel ready is a trap, though. The firms that move fastest are not the most confident, but they are the most willing to learn publicly and adjust. Okay, step 4, build confidence by doing the avoided task. So confidence comes from evidence, right? The fastest way to build it is to just do the thing you're currently avoiding. And finally, step 5, shift from approval seeking to service. When law firm owners stop trying to be liked and start focusing on solving problems, execution improves immediately. Let me share a story with you. A couple years ago, I had been working with a firm. At that point, it had been a long time that I'd been working with them. And they had been meaning to clean up their trust account for years. And the thing was, nothing bad ever happened until it did. And they received a routine bar inquiry. There were no penalties, no discipline, just questions. But you know what? The stress was immediate and overwhelming. The thing was, we got everything fixed up and everything was fine, but it was very reactive instead of proactive. And the law firm owner later told me, I wish I had just dealt with this when it was just uncomfortable instead of terrifying. When law firm owners truly make this internal shift to entrepreneur to business owner, here's what changes. Billing stops being delayed. Cash flow becomes predictable. Owner pay stabilizes. Staffing decisions become intentional. Growth stops feeling chaotic. Not because the market got easier, but because the owner decided to lead differently. So I want to leave you with one question. Who does your firm require you to become next? Not someday, not next year, today. Your future firm is being built right now by the decisions you make and the ones you avoid. The firms that thrive over the next decade will not be the ones that work the hardest. They will be the ones that decided early. I encourage you to keep building a firm that supports the life you actually want. If you are listening to this podcast episode and you're thinking, I know I need to understand my numbers in my law firm better, but I'm just not ready for CFO support. That's exactly why I created a program called Profit Strong 90. Now, Profit Strong 90 is a structured 90-day course designed specifically for law firm owners who want financial clarity without the overwhelm. So inside this course, you're going to learn how to understand your profit and loss without feeling intimidated, identify where profit is leaking from your firm, improve cash flow predictability, build financial habits that support long-term growth, and make better decisions using real data instead of gut instincts. Now, this isn't theory. It is practical step-by-step guidance built around how law firms actually operate. If you want to feel more confident looking at your numbers, if you want to stop guessing, and if you want to build a stronger financial foundation for your law firm, I can't make this any better of an offer. It's free. Click the link in the show notes below to join Profit Strong 90. This is where clarity starts for you.